And this time you have just us, some amazing guests like DJ Boston Sherry, Jamel Sirleaf.
Returning guests.
Oh yes, returning guests.
DJ
all
Boston
of them.
Sherry.
Jamel Sirleaf, as well as Terrell Kirk from The Crate NY, which we'll get into a little bit later. But
we're just gonna vibe out today. Chit chat.
Chit-chat.
Life stuff. Yeah.
We're going to let Boston give us a little bit of what she's going to be, a little tasting platter of what she's going to be playing for us.
Straight vibes. Do. Yeah, let's get into that now. Take it away.
I was gone for a minute. 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 Now I'm back.
No, okay, these are national women. You know me, I'm a smart people. Me, so me carry out me own. Tequila with it. When me open up, the guy will turn up, believe it. The guy put on the big like the president. The guy la freak, some guy la freak, got the rich, some guy la freak, some guy la freak, got the rich, some guy la freak. Give us sex, man, and get baby. Been every bad for you, the guy can't nothing. Freak, some guy la freak, got the rich, some guy la freak, some guy la freak, got the rich, some guy la freak, some guy la freak, got the rich, some guy la freak, some guy la freak.
Having bad timing. To my great surprise, ever since I looked in your eyes, I had one question for you. Tell me if you want me to give you all my time. I wanna make it good for you, 'cause you blow my mind. I promise, boy, I'll be true. You're the perfect one. Tell me if you want me to. Yeah. If you thought I'd sleep on this, boy, you're wrong. 'Cause all I dream about is our first kiss. And you're the first one to make me feel like this. And this is one opportunity that I can't miss. No, boy, you wanna know the deal. You are wondering if the words I'm saying are for real. 'Cause you got more appeal than any man in this whole world. And baby, I got to know how you feel.
That my best friend, she a real bad bitch, got her own money. She don't need no nigga on a dance.
This is actually my mom's favorite song. Like my mom, anywhere she goes, she will walk up to a DJ or anybody who's playing the music and request this song. Yeah, this is her favorite song.
Moms have such interesting taste. Like they'll be like, turn that off, and then they're booty shaking in the bathroom to something like this.
My mom likes 6ix9ine. Like
Really?
one of her favorite songs is Gooba by 6ix9ine.
Really?
Yes.
You know what my mom's favorite song is? It's what's the song? I'm a fucking man. Y'all don't get it, do you? Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, it's Drake.
Yeah.
The motto,
The motto.
yes.
It was her ringtone for the longest. I'm
Oh
like,
my
Mom, do you know what this song is about? Like, are you sure?
Are you sure?
But she has the clean version. So.
They probably know, but they just be trying to like act like they're not cool like that.
Politically correct about
Or
it.
like they don't act like they don't know, but they're really
Of
on
course.
top of what they know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In cahoots.
In Cahoots. Speaking of, Kahoot is a game, and we are about to play a game.
Kahoot is a game?
Kahoot is a game, yeah. It's a board game.
Well,
One day
I
we
was
should just play a whole
like
bunch of
8
board
years old when I
games.
learned that.
But for today, we have our wonderful Steve Harvey, who is going to walk us through our
The
game
king
show.
of comedy. I mean, game shows.
The king of game shows.
What's poppin'?
Y'all have
y'all
never
doing?
seen Steve Harvey with dreads before.
Yeah, he got that Bosley, grew his hair
Lease
out.
on life.
You know what I'm saying? New lease on
Style
life.
has really
Lori
been
Harvey is
catching a lot of
helping
attention recently.
My style?
Yeah.
My style
Yeah,
look what?
your leather suits and your
The suits and the
Oh.
matching
alligator
track
shoes.
suits.
Multiple buttons.
Alligator.
Yeah.
Alligator
plethora
suits.
of
Plethora of buttons, that's a fact, with the plethora of colors as well. You know?
textures.
Look like a Skittles. But you know. That's just what it is these days. It's the 70s all over again,
Yep, it is.
and it's nice. Well, let's get into it. So, question number 1.
Wait, I'm sorry. Skirt.
Skirt.
What's the theme? Do we have a theme this time?
Theme is life.
Life. You're just literally asking us questions.
Oh wow. Life.
Okay.
Life, current events, recent events. Nothing past.
Okay. I just need to
2-3
prepare my
years.
brain to unlock the winning answers.
All right, so
Okay,
like if
go
you
ahead.
look
Continue,
at
please,
hypebeast
continue.
or like just any type of news for the past week or 2 weeks, then you
Okay.
should be good.
Okay.
Copy.
The answer is Julia Fox.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Yo, I was tight.
Yo, can we
because
talk about that though later? Because like,
I wish I had a Julia
Please.
Fox question. in
Oh
here.
my
I
gosh.
really wish I did. Y'all saw what Kanye said too about Kim and the Ray J tape and all of that? Like,
I
yo,
saw some of the
I don't
Hollywood
even need to know,
Unlocked
but that
interview.
sounded like a butthurt response, whatever it is. If those 3 things are even in the
what he said was that he basically like went and got the tape from Ray J so that it wouldn't be released because there was apparently a second tape that came out. So yes, it is a butthurt response because this was all after the whole situation with
Yeah.
her happened. But I mean, basically he was like on. I don't even remember whose interview it was, but he was low key like crying, not crying, but in his bag, talking about how he did all this stuff for Kim and he went to Ray J like a man and got the tape from her just so that it wouldn't be exposed and put out on the internet. Meanwhile, the problem with that is she's still putting it out there that she has a second tape. I don't think anybody knew
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna do something that's good for another person, you don't
Yeah, shut
necessarily
up
have
about
to
it.
publicize it.
Yeah.
But also, at the same time, I feel like we so often just like see him because he's like he's more open about his personal life for reasons that like we personally can't understand, right? Just because of like the way that he processes things, whatever. They're not particularly open. So I think there's a lot of space to assume that so many things have been done to him behind closed doors, and that's why
That's
he's
very
so like
true.
quick to be like, "Well, I did this for her, I did that for her. I'm not the only one that's made mistakes,"
I mean,
Anywho.
it makes sense. Apparently, she kissed Pete Davidson in front of him at SNL or something like that. So, I mean, I can see why he'd be tight.
But they're not together, so who cares?
But they were married. They
So
had
what?
kids.
But we're not together.
You're gonna have some
marriage
type
is
of
literally
feeling
like a
about
legally
that.
binding agreement. It doesn't
But,
mean anything
alright,
outside of
but
that.
they
So
had
we're no longer married. That means you can't no longer legally have any right to do or say anything about the shit that I do. Period. Let's end the conversation.
What about his feelings?
So
Yeah, I think that's fair. Maybe like, it was on purpose to make his feelings be hurt. I don't know. I didn't watch it. So I don't
So
know.
I got my whole new man with me, and I'm trying to protect your feelings.
But why invite him then?
I think that's
We work together. Pete Davidson was there at SNL. That's his
his job.
Pete Davidson.
She was.
I'm not talking about. Pete
She was
Davidson.
hired to be on the job.
Why invite Kanye?
Maybe Kanye rolled up. Why was he? We don't know if he was invited. You know, he crazy. He probably was like, "I'm about to go check up on you and see what you do."
I think he
Who's
said
gonna,
that she
who's gonna say
invited
Kanye can't come?
Did say that.
Who's
yeah.
gonna say that?
Who say what?
Who's gonna say Kanye can't come? Like, oh, you can't bring Kanye
He
here.
said that he said that she invited him.
Okay. So I can't kiss my man because I invited you. Give your get your.
Don't invite him.
Baby ass
I mean,
feelings.
it's out of spite to me. That's how I look at it.
I
Like,
guess.
You know, like you're gonna.
That's the way he's looking at it. Like, you invited me just to kiss this man in front of me.
Yeah.
Like, anywho.
He's a
But
billionaire.
what if he did some crazy shit too? Like on his lyrics, he's talking about
probably
He definitely did.
effing models with bleached
probably
buttholes.
did.
Like he does a lot of shit.
It probably did.
Definitely.
You know, like
a-
he said some crazy stuff.
Yeah, it's a two-way street for sure.
Definitely.
It's a two-way street, and the thing about the two-way street is that it's on a highway that none of us will ever actually see.
Right.
Like, we're just getting like the
over on
spark
Ventura
notes.
Highway all the way in Carao land.
Yeah, like
fact.
it's
That's
the
a
highway in
fact.
no man's land that we don't even know.
Exactly.
We don't even know how to get there.
Out there in
In
White
Death
Oaks.
Valley.
Facts. Game show time. All
I
right.
win. No, okay, go ahead, please.
Question 1. German footwear company Birkenstock is releasing a collaboration with this luxury fashion brand. Is
I don't care because I work for Vans.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ha, that's the right answer.
Shout out,
Okay, wait. I want
No
to guess. I want to guess Comme des Garçons.
They would never partner.
You don't think so?
Birkenstock and Comme des Garçons?
Why
No.
not?
Balenciaga.
Nah, y'all both wrong.
It's Prada.
Where
Y'all
is
still
it?
wrong.
It's Dior. I saw
Is
it
it
the other
Dior?
day. I actually
Yeah.
did see this.
You gotta
I
look at
mean,
the
Dior.
buckles.
I mean, please. I feel like that's a
did see
step
it
down for Dior.
Oh, wow.
Personally, I
Birkenstocks.
feel like Balenciaga is like so commercial
the
that they would
Crocs
do some
thing,
shit
yeah.
like that. Yeah, but Dior, I don't know about that.
But Balenciaga is like ironically commercial.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So it would work for a Birkenstock. Like Birkenstocks are ugly, and Crocs were ugly, and
they're
people made them like yes, they look
Crocs are
like
more ugly
Crocs
than
is definitely-
Birkenstocks.
the Ten Commandment shoes.
What?
Please,
Well, that's
get
why
them
some
out of
people
here.
wear them
Jesus
for that
sandals.
reason.
Anyway, that's why I wear these
Heard you.
from Vans.
Shout out Vans.
Anyway,
Shout out, Vans.
Just
One time for the one
look at
time.
those.
Off the
All
wall.
right.
You know what it is.
Moving on.
66.
I got that answer right. I'm just gonna preface that I did.
All right.
Thanks, Kyle.
Damn, so nobody got that.
I did. I just told. Moving on. Move on, please.
Question number 2. The Australian Open recently started with this star tennis player missing. Is it A, Novak Djokovic, B, Naomi Osaka, C, Rafa Nadal, or D, Ashley Barty? I think that might have been you.
Naomi Osaka.
That is incorrect.
It's A.
It is?
It is Novak Djokovic because he has like a
Wait,
whole.
how do you know that?
He has like a whole COVID vaccine
Wait, who
thing.
told you that?
Where he doesn't want to take the vaccine, and he had like a visa issue because of the
Oh
vaccine.
yeah, I did see.
And
I
it
did
was like
see
a whole
that.
hot mess where like they allowed it, but then he couldn't get a visa. It was like a whole.
gosh.
It's like way too much.
This
all these-
this COVID stuff is becoming a little too George Orwell for me.
Yeah.
I feel like
I'm
I'm
with
in
you.
a movie
Getting
every day.
Orwellian.
It's out of hand. Okay.
Seriously. Definitely. And it's like a new show too about like a pandemic or something like that.
Oh my
Station
god.
11. I haven't even seen it yet. But
Please, just give
I don't
us a
need to be
break.
programmed, please.
Can we have a new show about like the opposite of a pandemic?
right.
Can we like let's manifest that?
Right, living in a forest,
Like-
picking fruit off a tree
Like there's
for
no,
free.
no disease exists.
Absolutely, just frolicking.
No,
No
such
work.
thing as contagiousness.
That would be very nice. I
That'd
would
be
love
great.
That. I would definitely love that. Someone needs to make that. Well, maybe it'll be this video game manufacturer whose original headquarters is being reopened as a hotel.
How dare they?
Is it A, Sega, B, Nintendo, C, Ubisoft, or D, Rockstar? Gia?
I kind of want to say Rockstar or Nintendo. I feel like, but Nintendo. You know what? I feel like Nintendo might actually do something like that as like a tourist attraction, like a Disneyland vibe. So I'm gonna go with B, Nintendo. Yeah.
That is correct.
Okay, word.
So actually founded in 1889 as a playing cards manufacturer, Nintendo will go on to create the games we all know and love, such as Mario and Super Smash Bros.
There
the
you go.
hotel is scheduled to open on April 1st.
In
wow.
Japan.
In
Wait,
Japan, yeah.
I think
I
that
figured
might not
that.
be true
Yeah.
though.
What?
If it's scheduled to open on April 1st, maybe it's a prank, and this hotel doesn't actually exist.
That is
True.
wow.
I
That's a
think
good
I
one.
deserve
You
a
just
point.
bust my
That's a good
whole head
deduction.
open because that would be the
April
biggest
1st.
prank in prank history.
That'd be hilarious.
Could you imagine making a reservation? You show up and they're like, actually, no.
You and Bitcoin just steal their money. That would not be right.
Be careful if you're trying to go to the Nintendo hotel. You might be getting pranked.
Yeah.
Careful.
Be ready to break in if they don't let you in. Mm-hmm. All right.
What is all this hostility, please?
You're right. It's the pandemic. I'm sorry.
Give me a
number
Nintendo and I'm
4.
good.
Speaking of Kanye, so Kanye and this football player are planning on launching a Donda sportswear brand. Is it A, Odell Beckham Jr., B, Ezekiel Elliott, C, Antonio Brown, or D, Juju Smith-Schuster? Sophia.
The answer is C, A-B, Antonio Brown.
That's a fact.
I
And
almost said that because I was like, Odell Beckham Jr. ain't gonna do that.
funnily enough, Antonio Brown is the football player that took his jersey off in the middle of a game.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that recently.
yeah,
Word.
I could see a lot of marketing ads featuring him taking off like a football jersey, and then underneath they've got like the Donda sportswear brand. Like, yeah,
They already have
Smart.
memes of it.
That's
Don't
my
say
thing.
that on the air, actually.
I've got theories.
Yeah,
Yeah,
word.
you need to,
I've
you
got
need to
theories,
copyright that.
bro.
You know what's so funny though? Like, it feels like whenever football players or basketball players do something radical, it's like huge. Like any type of sports player, I've learned recently, whenever they say no to something, it's so radical. When musicians or artists do that, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, they're being artsy, whatever. But
Yeah.
it's like the laws and restrictions that a lot of these football players are under, athletes are so intense. It feels like it's like slavery. Like, what do you mean I can't take my jersey off
Yeah,
and go like
it's
take a
definitely
break?
slavery.
Like, fuck you. Like, I'm like literally bashing my brains around. Let me do what I want to do. Or if I'm like, fuck it, I don't want to do this anymore. I get $1 million just to show up. Like, please, I can afford to be like, I need a day, or I need to do whatever's going on with life. Like, I'm a person, and I don't think we have conversations around that unless it's like, you know, a Kaepernick situation.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. I wonder if it's because for athletes, they require a team in order to play, and that team has so many different like stratifications of power. Like, before you even get to the people that we see on the field, there's probably like 100 people, from owners to arena owners to club owners to club managers, presidents, whatever, that we don't even know about, that impact the way that every single athlete makes decisions. Whereas like a musician, the barrier to entry is, I hate to say it, but it's lower, right? That's if Chance
point.
the Rapper wanted to be a football player and he attacked playing football the same way he attacked playing music, he wouldn't be a football player, because it just doesn't work like that. Like, you can't just be like, I'm signed to an independent team. Like, it doesn't work like that. In order for you to be in the NFL, like, or the NBA, or any kind of like major league sport, you have to go through a specific process in order to get there. Like, be a collegiate athlete first, try out for a team, make the team, be in the draft, go on a draft. Like, we could make a YouTube video and make like a super dope song and go viral. It might take a lot of work to get there, of course, and there's a lot of like independence, and like there's not much of a blueprint to follow, but we can do it as individuals. Versus sports, you really have to rely on a team and a whole entire network. Anyways, long story short, what I'm saying is Gia and I are about to
dropping an album. Okay.
We're about to get a but what is it? Something about a Grammy.
A Grammy?
That's the song, the Saucy Santana song, Material Girl.
Material
Currently
Girl.
working on a Grammy.
Material Girls.
That's
My favorite song right now.
Material Girl.
I love that song so much.
No, in all seriousness, I just think that we should have more conversations about, like, knowing that people who have certain jobs are human beings, and not holding them to the standard of an automated like robot, you know, or just like this faceless, speechless figure that is not a human being. It's not a franchise. Like, Beyonce is like literally a company, but she's also a person. You know what I mean? So it's twofold. But yeah,
and
I feel bad for
Antonio Brown.
sometimes.
I think he had a very badly sprained ankle, or just like some actual physical thing that was wrong, like his ankle or his knee or something like that, and they forced him to play.
Oh fuck,
right?
no.
They'll be like, your ankle completely be falling
Hell
off.
no,
They'll
bro.
just shoot you up with some like cortisone or something, and they'll be like, go play.
But no, that's football, though. I'm gonna be honest with you.
That's the way football. Yeah, that's the way the football is. But at the same time, like, you have to understand, at a certain point, you kind of got to be like, this is my body.
So you own my body? Is that what it comes down
and
to?
I could go and I could play for this game because it's really important. But I could screw my ankle up or my body up to the point where I won't have a career in 5 years.
So fuck that.
Like, I could wait out these 5 games, or I could play through the pain and then like have to get my leg amputated and not be able to play.
But it doesn't seem like basketball is held to that same like radical standard. Like, I see basketball players fall like, oh, and they're like, I'm out, I can't do it anymore. Like, they're so dramatic.
I don't,
you know?
Does it sound bad? This is a good question. Is basketball like a pretty boy sport?
Absolutely.
Because in football you're wearing a helmet.
Absolutely.
Like, all you are is a number and a
what's the
last
most
name.
radical
In basketball,
fucking
you could come in like Dennis Rodman, have all these different hair colors, have a whole brand behind you, like AI, and have your whole cornrows, and people know your face and see your face. In football, you're wearing a helmet, so unless people know the sport, they don't really know what you look like. They'll be like, okay, that's 85. That's
their names are on the back of the
It was
what I
like that
mean?
until
Like,
Odell
what your
Beckham
face looks
Jr.
like.
started playing.
Yeah.
Who started playing?
Odell Beckham Jr., who used to play for the Giants.
Yeah.
He did the one-handed catch or whatever. I feel like he kind of brought like a different perspective to football, you know? But like, football in comparison to basketball is definitely like not a pretty boy sport at all, you know? And there's just a different mentality that goes into playing that sport too.
But basketball, it wasn't always like that too. It's just been
in the
like,
90s it was different.
you know, more brand. You can sell against more stuff. So like
you can see your
they
face.
need their face. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like, you don't see football players do. The most a football player will do is be in a Subway ad, and that's about it.
Yeah,
like,
the
there's
Subway,
no-
Papa John. But like in basketball, you could see their face, you could see their hair.
Yeah,
you could
they're
see,
in
like,
All-State commercials and shit. Like, come on now.
Football players in All-State commercials too. but
Okay,
you also
all right,
have-
fair
it's
enough.
hard to
That's
get
true.
in there
That's true.
though.
That's
Like
true.
almost any basketball player, like the percentage of basketball players that can do ads is higher because no matter what, you'll see their faces.
Yeah.
Whereas football players really
They
only
don't
see their
get, like,
faces if they're good.
in the face. Yeah.
You know
I
what I
think
mean?
you also have a lot more star basketball basketball players and you have star football players.
Yeah.
You
that's
have a
true.
much shorter shelf life as a football player than you do as
Yeah.
a basketball player.
Yeah.
But that also
that's true.
links to the conversation about like longevity. Like, so you want me to just literally like give you 5 years of my life and like never do anything ever again? Just for what? For what? Like, for
$2
what?
million. It's
Nah, bro, it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. But
not worth it to us, but it's worth it to them. Like, I'm gonna be completely honest
Yeah.
with you. If somebody was to come up to me right now and be like, "I'll pay you like $5 million to play football," I'm gonna be like, "Hell yeah, I'm gonna do that shit." But that's just me. Like, I love football. That's the sport I would play. I would give my body to that sport, low key. But that's like the mentality of a football player, though. It's like basketball and football. You're going to war with football. You literally
yeah, definitely
Like,
is war. Modern day
it's-
war.
Exactly. You know, it's very different from basketball. Like you were talking about before, people flopping, stuff like that. Like, that's the strategy in basketball.
Flailing,
But
really.
I also think in basketball is a little bit of a more diverse sport too, right?
It is. I mean, it's all over the world. You know,
It's a little
football
bit more
isn't really.
diverse. Like football is very
American.
It's very American, but I think typically what you'll see is like the black people playing the positions that cause the most injury.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like most of the guys, white guys are always the kickers and the quarterbacks. Nobody touching the kicker because the kicker's on the field alone.
You got a lot
right?
of white guys who play in the
Quarterbacks,
O-line,
most of the
too.
time, like you're not really gonna get tackled because like there's not as much opportunity for you to get tackled. Whereas if you catching that ball and you running, there's 10 people running at you.
Like,
Right, and that's
literally.
like the position that most black people have.
Yeah.
Yeah, like gladiators.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yep.
That's a fact.
That and hockey. Hockey is probably like on the toppest of the top.
Hockey scares me.
Hockey's cool.
Oh
Hockey
my
scares
god.
me because the blades on
Oh,
they scare
like,
me.
They're literally figure skating, playing like a form of soccer with a little puck.
There's a kid that
Like-
died from
Wait, really?
one of his friends slipped while skating, like slashed
Oh.
his neck open.
Oh my
That was like my biggest fear in life. I don't go to ice skating
Oh my
rinks.
god! You see me holding my neck
That thing
open.
like
I'm
freaked
like,
me out because I always in my head thought like, what if that happened to somebody? And then I saw on the news that it happened to like this 13-year-old boy.
so sad,
dude.
That is horrible.
Have you been ice skating before?
When I was a kid, yeah.
Ice skating is
Ice
awesome.
skating is hard as shit.
When I was a kid,
It's
I don't
so
think I would
hard.
do it now because the blades like really freak me out. Like
They're heavy. They're
Yeah.
super heavy.
the blades on
Especially
the
figure
shoes.
skates.
Anyway, I was just talking to confuse you.
I'm not
The
confused.
strategy.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
we should go to the next question.
Anyway,
All right, question number 5. The Real reported growth in watch sales year over year. By what percentage did the Patek Philippe Nautilus increase?
I'm sorry. What kind of question is this?
I know. This is a purely guessing kind of question.
Why would you eat?
No, I'm testing y'all knowledge on this stuff. You feel me? You know?
Let's go, bro.
Question or answer number A, 61%, B, 37%, C, 212%, or D, negative 15%. Fia?
Is the Nautilus the one with Tiffany? This is the one that Jay-Z has. It's like a blue face.
I mean, they have different faces.
I'm gonna guess C.
C, 212?
Yeah.
Okay, that is incorrect.
Oh man, I felt like it was just too ridiculous.
Okay, I'm gonna say B. I was gonna say it's too ridiculous. Yeah, I was gonna pick it though, but thank you for losing. B.
That is also incorrect.
Okay, it's
Oh,
A.
it's
It is A.
I said A first. Give me
A.
a half point.
Okay.
Come on, Kyle. You know you want to give it to me. My point 5.
Question number 6. This pivotal Russian figure is only 2 generations removed from their African roots. Is it A, Vladimir Putin, B, Vladimir Lenin, C, Alexander Pushkin, or D, Grigory Rasputin? Skr.
B, you
Okay,
can
so
have that, yeah.
I think that it's C because Vladimir Lenin is dead.
Yes.
I don't think that Vladimir Putin has any type of African roots because he just can't. It's not a good look
Not
for
even
his brand.
possible. Yeah, it's not possible.
And then Rasputin is like the nigga that they kept thinking that they killed that didn't actually die. And this is like in the
Yeah.
1800s.
Type shit.
yeah.
But maybe because I just called him a nigga, he might have some African.
Listen, if
His
there was,
name
like-
is Gregory.
right?
I think it's C.
You are correct. If there was anyone else on this list who I would think would be black, it would definitely be Grigory Rasputin.
I was gonna pick that after you. If you
That's
okay.
like a close second.
Nah,
So-
he was like some trader dude And they kept thinking he was dead, and he just never died. Like, they would try to kill him, and he just didn't die.
They said he was
4
like
times.
a wizard or
I mean,
something.
I can
He
tell
was
you the
like,
story about
He was like
Rasputin
in the
if y'all
water,
want.
like frozen. Like his body was frozen, and he was still alive, and he thawed out. He like defrosted and
That's
came back to
wild,
life.
bro.
So like when they executed the SARS family in like the 1918s or whatever, they executed Rasputin too. They shot him like 4 or 5 times in the chest. He was laid out. Then he got back up. He was like, yo,
bro.
He just wouldn't die.
He was probably an alchemist. He probably did some stuff to his he did something.
Yeah, maybe he was like practicing some bulletproof vest work before.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
he was a priest, and apparently he brought like a whole different type of like Christianity to the royal
I
family.
heard
So,
about that. Yeah,
You know, he had some stuff going on. I'm just gonna say that.
crazy.
But so Alexander Pushkin's great grandfather, Abram Petrovich Ganobal, is believed to have been born in Cameroon. Pushkin is also the founder of Cyrillic, which is the Russian alphabet.
So he was just born there.
He was what?
He was just born there.
What, his great grandfather?
Yeah,
Yeah, he got some black in him. You know?
he was just born there. That's your nationality. That's not your ethnicity. If you were born in Cameroon, that your nationality is Cameroonian, right?
He got
But-
some dark skin in him.
Next question.
Question number 7. Russian armed forces are currently threatening to
Russia?
invade and occupy
what?
this
Is
European
there
country.
cameras in the walls?
Yes. A. Belarus. B. Poland. C. Ukraine. Or D. Germany. Fia,
The answer is C, the Ukraine.
this is correct.
And the U.S. is now telling their people, the U.S. citizens that are in Ukraine or any part of Eastern Europe, to come back to the United States. So if you by any chance happen to be there, you should check out what the U.S.'s PSA to you is, American citizens in the Ukraine.
That's a fact. GTFO.
I listened to the Wall Street Journal the other day. That's how I knew this.
So, since the annexation of Crimea in 2014, Russia and Ukraine have been on the brink of conflict that threatens to pull in Western allies of Ukraine and Eastern allies of Russia. So,
You know what is mind-boggling to me? I feel like there's never not going to be conflict in the world, ever. Like, y'all be beefing about the stupidest shit. Like, no, for real. Like, I'm being absolutely serious. Like, the way nations beef is like, my daddy didn't like you because you made this policy, so I'm gonna not like you for 3,000 more years, and then we automatically gonna get a marriage that connects us together, and now my sons are kings and we're good.
Yeah.
And then that falls, and then they're like, oh, we fucking hate you again, and like, it's always something. Like, there's never not anything, and it's all personal, and then it
That's
becomes political when it don't got nothing to do with any type of policies at all.
Yep.
It has nothing to do with the people, it has nothing to do with anything. You was butthurt about something, and then you took it personally, and you went to war. That's really how.
Actually. Yep. Yeah.
like all
Please.
pride and pacing contests, and that's it. Like, that's
Very
all
much
it is.
a
It's like
contest.
everything is a measuring contest. It's like, bro, just zip your pants up and shut up.
Like, for real.
Honestly.
Or take a nap, please.
Or both. You probably just need like a good meal and then
Sit your ass down.
That's all.
maybe hire a professional cuddler. I think they might
For real.
need that.
Like, no more prostitutes.
yeah, seriously. That
Professional
stuff is
cuddlers or therapy. Pick one.
facts.
Or both.
Or both.
Both.
Yeah, nothing wrong with
Simultaneously.
both.
Please.
Yeah, at the same time.
Gosh.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Putin definitely needs that. All right. And maybe Biden too.
Oh, Lord.
They just need like a space warmer.
Lord.
A space warmer,
A
yeah.
massive space warmer.
Yup.
Just that just
Or we can
floats
all
over the
eject
country.
them to Mars, and then we don't have to worry about it
Yeah.
anymore. I like that idea.
I mean, yeah.
We'll still find a way
This
to
could
fight.
y'all could beef up there.
The people who turn
over there.
themselves into
This could work.
emperors would be like, nah, now I want to fight. It's like the second you get power, they want to fight. All the civilians are just like, damn,
That's,
bro, I
but
just
this
want
is the
to
thing.
live.
Sounds
Like,
like a
what's the
very,
point of power if you're not gonna fight?
I mean,
What's the point of power if you're not gonna fight?
Yeah, I mean, to them,
Oh, okay.
they're like, I have my power. What am I gonna do? Let me use it. Like, to most people, you should just be like powerful and not have to use that power.
yeah, the power
But
is you
to
not
them,
being able to use it.
It's
the-
ego. It's I
yeah.
got my power. Let me show you what I got. Let me show you what I'm sitting
But we
on.
didn't even ask for that. Like,
Ain't
we just
nobody
want
want
some
that.
bread and to chill out. Like, why you get off my neck?
that's it.
Please.
Don't send me to Russia. I ain't trying to go there.
Anyway.
No.
It's way
Anyway.
too cold. All right. Question number 8. True or false? Francis Ngannou is from the same country as Alexander Pushkin's great-grandfather, which is Cameroon. Yes,
True.
this is true. Question number 9.
On my mind.
Virgil's posthumous Louis Vuitton collection debuted on January 20th. Getting ready?
Yep.
The collection includes this sneaker, which Virgil previously collabed on as a creative director of Off-White. Is it A, the Nike Blazer, B, the Converse Chuck Taylor, C, the Nike Air Force One, or D, the Air Jordan 1?
Is this a trick question?
I don't think so. Gia?
Oh, I got it?
Yeah, you got
okay. I'm going to go with Air Jordan 1, but I feel like he did the Nike Blazer too because I've seen it. I think, but did he do it? Air Jordan 1. Air Jordan 1.
Air Jordan 1 with Louis Vuitton?
Oh, with Louis Vuitton?
I'm sorry.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, okay, that is incorrect. I am sorry.
It's the Air Force C.
That is correct.
Shit, it was.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't
I'm
really
like,
like
is this a trick question? Didn't he do all of
Say
these?
that? I didn't really like it.
You can say that. Wait, which one? The
that
red
wrong?
one or like?
Okay, moving on.
It's
Anyway,
like all,
next
it's like the
question.
whole monogram thing, like the whole
Yeah.
sneaker is monogram.
Yeah.
I didn't really like it.
Yeah.
Maybe because I would be scared to wear it, because I would just be like, bro, this is literally like wearing a Louis V
Right.
bag on your feet.
Yes,
Right.
yes. But we're here with Vans, so it doesn't matter. Next question. Thank
Question
you.
number 10. True or false? Indonesia's current capital is sinking into the sea.
True.
That is correct.
Global warming. Love it. Next question.
Question number 11. Virgil's posthumous Louis Vuitton collection is named A, Louis Dreamhouse, B, Vuitton Playhouse, C, Halo, or D, LV Kingdom.
Halo.
That is incorrect.
It sounded nice.
Louis Dreamhouse? I don't know.
That's correct.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Question number 12. This desert recently saw snowfall. Is it A, Atacama, B, Sahara, C, Arabian, or D, Great Sandy? Gia?
I don't want to be right about any of this shit because why the fuck is it snowing in the desert? But Sahara.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's correct.
That is scary. That's what the
What? Sometimes I think, right? It's happened before.
I don't know. It's the
I
first time
I like Googled it before.
Bro,
I think
next
it
question.
snowed in the desert before.
Is that it?
That's it.
All right, Fia.
I won. What's up? I felt it this time around that I was going
Good
to
job.
win.
There were a lot of questions that were like news stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't watch the news, so
Yeah.
I try not to. It's too much. So good job. Good job. Round of applause.
Mixing with some 1942.
We love it.
Girl, you
Like
chose it.
excellence. All right.
Hey. Okay. So,
Fun.
Gia,
Dessert.
let's chat a little bit.
Okay, let's do
I
it.
wanted to talk about fast fashion.
Okay.
Specifically because I saw that on Instagram you were like going through your closet and like I had the same realization, like I have way too many clothes that I don't wear.
You can always give me your
And
clothes,
then I
Fia.
thought like,
You can just donate your clothes to me.
no, I don't think that
Gladly.
like some of it is just like stuff that nobody would actually even want.
No.
No, I'm being
I'll be the judge of
serious.
that.
I'm being
I'll be the
serious. I'm being serious because I'll just like keep stuff for no reason. Like I have clothes that I wore in like freshman year of high school. Like these
Oh,
clothes
yeah,
are
you
like
can
8
burn
years old. Like
those.
why do I still have these clothes, right?
Yeah.
And then I started to think a little bit about what I've been seeing on social media, specifically people who will do their Shein hauls. And they'll be like, this is what I bought on Shein for $900. And it'll be like a whole bunch of clothes. And not to be like no one should buy from Shein because you have to understand that not everybody can afford to buy from other places, and that might be the only option that you have. But if you're spending $900 at Shein, you probably have the money to shop elsewhere, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about fast fashion and why we think we just buy so many things that we might not even need or that we wear once or just whatever. Like, why
I like that topic. We definitely need to be speaking about it because clearly it is snowing in the fucking Sahara Desert.
Yeah.
Those things are connected. But it's, I mean, the easy answer is we live in America. It's a very consumerist space. And the richer other places become, the more they idolize that consumerist behavior because we lead in making we have an image, like that's where we lead. We don't lead anywhere else. We lead in our culture. So our culture is very consumerist. So I think that's like really the root issue, but I do see a lot in like a lot, when I say a lot, of people in our generation and younger saying like, yo, fuck this, I'm not gonna like just keep buying H&M shirts every week, or you know what I mean. I'm gonna recycle. I'm gonna go to the thrift store. I'm gonna remake what I already have and what I already own. I'm gonna, you know, just be minimalist and work with this and make capsule collections and whatever. They're getting really artistic and smart and, you know, creative with it, which is very, very dope to see, because, well, like, what's the point of having $900 worth of shit if you can't wear it because we are under the ocean? Make it make sense. Like, please. Where are you wearing that to? The club in the ocean?
Oh, yeah.
The Ocean Floor Club? Because that's where you're going. The Abyss is closed. Hello? Like, hello? It's not even funny. Like, I'm dead ass. Like, where are you gonna go? What are you gonna do? Who are you studying for? What Instagram are you posting if we're under the freaking ocean? Yeah. There's nothing. Like,
if we're dead,
you know, like, there's nothing. But yeah, I love that conversation, and I think we should be having it every single freaking day, and just make it more commonplace to be conscious about what we do and what we consume, what we bring into our lives. You know, Maria Konda style, like, is it bringing me joy or not? If it's not, bye.
Yeah.
But I said, like, you can donate stuff to me. I'm not gonna not take it.
No.
I'm definitely gonna take it.
Some of it just doesn't even make sense. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of see like fast fashion. I also think that there's a lot of brands that we don't characterize as fast fashion that are fast fashion. Like, it's not only Shein and Fashion Nova. Like, a lot of people consider Zara. A lot of people consider H&M to be fast fashion. A lot of people consider a lot of these online brands that are just like, some people consider Revolve to be fast fashion, okay? Because in general, they're pumping out so many clothes.
Would you consider fast fashion, if we're just looking for like a very cut and dry term, to be a fashion house or a brand or whatever that doesn't partake in sustainability practices?
I don't even think it's necessarily sustainability practices, because then there's a way to kind of go around that, in which a lot of brands will be like, for every item bought, we're going to plant a tree. And they're kind of greenwashing certain things. And I don't think that should take away from like the fact that, okay, well, your output and your impact on the environment is significantly worse than the amount that you can cover it up by planting trees. You know what I mean? So I think like, yeah, I think it's a little bit more so to do with the brand's mentality and the branding. You know what I mean? Because I think fast fashion isn't just about the effects that it has on the environment. It's also about the reasons that it exists, right? Which is, we live in a fast-paced society where trends come and go so fast, where people just want to be able to buy something to look like an Instagram model. So I think it has a lot more to do with trying to meet a need, not even meet a need, because it shouldn't be, it's not a need, but meet the constant itch for new and cool things, to then be able to look a certain way, or, you know, be on trend, or, you know, just like not feel like a normal person and feel like some sort of
celebrity.
So like celebrity, or someone who has an increased importance, because they can have all of these clothes that are being produced super fast and at such a high rate. So I think if it is a brand that is just so focused on being like, this is trending, we need to push this out, and there's no thought process for how to actually market the product, who should the product be for, what problem does the product solve, then it's fast fashion. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these brands aren't even focused on catering to a specific demographic or a specific group. It's more so just like, let's just like make a million of everything and see what sticks. And someone will buy it no matter what. Like, for instance, I think Fashion Nova did a Black Friday sale a few years ago where everything was $1.
Yep. I was tight, I missed that, but I'm not going to lie.
How can you, like, how can you sell clothing for $1? That just doesn't even make sense.
Well, I can speak to that, because when that happened, there were a lot of articles and people speaking about it, because what it comes down to is where they're sourcing that product from. If they're able to sell it at $1, that means that they probably got it for like 2 cents. Where it, like, they can, like, they're making money if they're making it. Like, if you sold $1,000,000 $1 items, you got $1 million. And if you got to take $10K off of that because it was what, you know what I mean? Like, that's light. That's light.
Yeah, that's nothing.
You know what I mean? And a lot of these, and when you get into, I call it like it's called fashion talk on TikTok. But if you go to like fashion talk and like the inner workings of like, if you want to start a brand, you'll see like you can go to distributors and be like, hey, I want XYZ blanks. And if you're doing wholesale stuff, they're like, okay, this is going to cost you this amount and it's discounted at whatever because you're buying 6,000 blanks.
Yeah.
You're not buying 60. That's going to cost you some money. But if you're buying 6,000 and then you actually are profitable and you sell those 6,000, then you did make money. But it's coming down to like, are we thinking about the fact that we're throwing, like you said, just throwing things on a board and seeing what sticks and seeing what makes money, and then the things that fall are becoming landfill, like are becoming like, there's another, this conversation is actually great because I just learned that a lot of the stuff that ends up in like Goodwill and Salvation Army goes to Africa. And there's like on the coast, there's like places where literally, actually, there was this girl who's from South Africa that came to my studio, and she was telling me like, yeah, all the fast fashion stuff comes to us. And there's like on the coast, there's like every Saturday, every Sunday, whatever, they have it all out in bags, and we don't even want it. It's like we don't even want it. Yeah. So it ends up then going to landfills. Like, they think that they're recycling it. They think that they're bringing it to somewhere where it's getting used and benefiting, but it's going to, quote unquote, these third world countries and these impoverished places, and they're getting it. They're like, we don't want this. Yeah. Like, I want to look like Beyonce. I don't want this. Then it goes down the line and it ends up literally on the street, and that's why you see those pictures of like bottles and garbage and cotton and, you know what I mean, like polyester just hanging on the trees.
And then they burn the clothes too, which then leads to greater greenhouse gas
because
emissions.
all this stuff is polyester, which is plastic.
Horrible. It's horrible. I don't know. It's like it's hard because I think we also live in a society where it's like you have $1,000, so it's like, let me spend $1,000 and let me maximize my $1,000 to get these 100 things that I'm gonna wear once. Where once I wash it, the color's gonna change. It's gonna rip. The text is gonna peel off. Because I want to get the most out of my money. Versus, let me take that $1,000 and let me buy an actual nice jacket from somebody who's a tailor or somebody who is within their craft and knows what they're doing and takes their time and has the expertise to produce something that will last me 10 years. You know what I mean?
That's really
and that
true.
gets you more for your money than that 100 items that you bought, because you have those 100 items for what, 6 months? Then you got to buy another 100 items. Versus you have that jacket, it could last you 10 years.
I just got a jacket, a Miyake jacket from this place called Second Street, which I freaking love. It's consignment. It could be considered thrift. They have a lot of stores in Japan, but they have one here that I didn't even know existed. And I went and I found this jacket. I spent $600 on it, but it's wool. Like, it's a long, well-made wool coat that's from like, it's not, the tag is not even like, you know how that like some brands will change their tagging so you know it's more recent. It's like flat. It's like really, really old. So I felt good about getting it because I knew, oh, it's lived some lives. Like someone had this for a really long time. Now I'm investing into it. I'm probably going to have this for the next 30 years. It's very warm and it's organic material. You know what I mean? And even if we're thinking about like a spiritual, vibrational space, I heard that wool, what is it called? Not wool. It's wool and
cashmere? No,
not cashmere. What is it called? I forgot what it's called, but wool has like a vibrational count of like 100 or 1,000, and our own skin has 100. And then like so cotton wool and linen, they have a very high vibrational count, and our bodies need that high vibrational count. If you get polyester, that has a 0. So you're wearing things that are literally dragging your vibrational energy down. Yeah. And that's why you're not supposed to mix things together, because it then cancels that out. And it's just fascinating because rich people know that shit. Yeah. They'll be like, oh, what is it? Polyester? No. And we're laughing like, ha ha ha, I'll get it.
Speaking of laughing, we're going to head into our set from Jamel Sirleaf, our comedian.
He's funny, y'all.
I went to school in Boston, which introduced me to a whole bunch of things. One of those things was winter sports. Now, as you can tell, I'm African from Florida. Winter sports, there's a bit of a learning curve, a big learning curve. But I was like, you know what, Brad and Chad, let's go ahead and do this. This will be fun. There were 2 red flags to show that I should not have done this activity. The first thing is, when you get to the ski rental place, they put you in like full military combat gear. I was like asking the guy, I was like, why am I wearing combat boots? He was like, oh, so you don't break your ankles when it moves. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. This will be fun. Like, if you'd given me an AR-15 and been like, okay, go fight the insurgents, I'd be like, yeah, this makes sense. The second red flag is the fact that it's a fucking mountain, which no one told me. Like, I didn't only know hills. I don't know anything about a mountain, so I didn't really realize how big it was. So when I get to the top, I'm looking at all of New England, and they're like, okay, Jamal, it's time to go down. I was like, go down what? They're like, go down the mountain. I was like, nah, I think I'm going to kick it up here. I think I'm good right where I'm at. I think I'll, I don't know, chop wood, make friends with some of the animals, become a local fixture, do something like that. But I'm not going down that motherfucking mountain. Believe that. Eventually, they convinced me to do this. Now, I have no prior experience, so I'm very bad. And I'm busting my ass all the way down this mountain. Keep it in mind, white people, you teach your kids how to ski when they're like 1.5 years old. So all around me, you got little kids, and they are killing it, going down the mountain just like, they're doing this thing right here. And I'm embarrassed. This one little girl skeets up to me. Is it skeet or skate? She skates up to me. She was like, shh. She's like, are you okay, mister? I was like, you need to get the fuck out of my face right now. You embarrassed in front of me, all my friends. This is ridiculous. It did hurt. It did. I'll tell you what, though. I have a lot of white friends, and I'm not going to apologize for it. At least not anymore. I'm going to stop. They teach you a lot of stuff. One thing that I've learned that I could teach them is how to properly pronounce immigrant names. They're still working on it. Like, I've met a lot of my friends' families, love them to death, but I'm going to be Jamal Shirtleaf for the rest of my life. There's no changing it. Their parents are never going to remember my name. Their grandparents, forget about it. I'm just whoever they saw on TV that week. They're like, Michael Shea. I'm like, no, that's not me. It's okay, though. Oh, man. I've been trying to think of like how I can fix racism because, I mean, my experience has been fantastic with the white people I've been around. White people will teach you how to party, like party for real. You know what I'm saying? My white friends, when they get drunk, they get that glass of beer, they put it way to the sky like this, and then they hit their move just like that. The drunker he gets, the higher the glass will go as well. When you see it's totally vertical, he's blackout. Okay? White girls, it's a little bit different. It's a stage show. White girls, when they get drunk, they do the fake Taylor Swift concert. They in there to each other. It's amazing. Oh God, such a good performance. My problem is I like to dance when I get too drunk, though. That's my issue. And I always try to impress people, thinking I can do some things that I can't do, right? Remember the jerking dance? Remember all that stuff we was doing? We was doing like this? Yeah, see, even that hurt a little bit. I tried to do the pin drop one time. I was in a big circle. Hit it. Hyperextended my knee. Yep, couldn't get back up. I tried to keep all my conversations going, though. I was on the ground, ankle bent upwards. I was like, so yeah, like I was really interested in architecture from the beginning, but I just didn't think I had the credits to be able to get the major.
Yo, he's a fool. He's hilarious. I remember the jerking days. Like, I literally had a jerking crew, like me and my two friends. No. And we would battle these. Like, I went to a performing arts school, so that was like regular. Like, we were absolutely High School Musical, just black. So we would go outside to the park that was across the street from our school, be like, battle time. And we would have our little speakers and be like, literally pin dropping and jerking.
Oh my God.
And getting light in the park, like for dumb long, for hours. Oh my God. Good times. Good times.
Amazing. So you went to a performing arts school.
I did, yeah.
Was it anything like Euphoria High School?
Ooh, yes. People really think that Euphoria is not real life, but child,
It is. I think minus the
Child, it
outfits,
is.
it's real life.
no, not minus the outfits.
Okay,
Not
I'm talking
minus
about
the
like the
outfits.
suburban schools.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
I'm talking about like the. Yeah, I think it's like minus the outfits. I think now it's probably gone up a little bit. But when I was in high school, which is actually like not that long ago, like 3 years ago, like the outfits weren't really that. They weren't the way that the Euphoria outfits are, you know. But the kids were doing the same type of stuff, like the drugs, the sex, the like crazy intense stories and
I really
traumatic
think it depends
things.
on the school you went to, because like if it was a regular school, probably not. If it was a performing arts school or like
Yeah, like a performing
like
arts
a
school,
tech school,
probably.
if it was one of the things where
Like
it
a
was like
specialized
there's
one.
a profession in your life like after this, them motherfuckers was absolutely grown
Yeah,
behind
probably.
people. Yeah, because I was there and I was one of them, so that's why I can say that.
So you went to Euphoria school.
LOL. Yeah, Euphoria. I mean, that whole like concept and like the trend of like, do you know that trend on TikTok where it's like, and where do you think you're going? And then people have to go back and then they turn into their like,
Yeah, they'll be like just like
outfit?
walk out with like sweats or something.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, when you remember you go to Euphoria High School, and then they'll reappear with
Booty
like
shorts.
a crop top and like booty shorts and like thigh high
yeah.
boots or something like that.
full face beat.
Full face
Full
beats,
face.
sparkles, everything.
face.
So what do you think of Euphoria? Because Euphoria has
Oh, that's
the
my
world
show.
in a chokehold.
Yeah, it definitely has me in a chokehold. I don't talk to anyone on Sundays. Like Sunday, no, like legit. I had a client. And I left early. I was like, yeah, I need to go home because it takes me an hour to get home, and Euphoria is on like at 10. I need to be out of
We
here.
need to go.
Sorry, I need to go, and I need to get sleep, so I need to go now because after I watch it, I'm going like, come on, I don't have to talk about it. Like, come on, it's a lot. It's a thing.
It's
It's
a whole,
part of my life.
whole night. It's a whole
Absolutely.
evening.
I actually want to like host a Euphoria watch party because I feel like watching it with me and my boyfriend is so like one like dimensional. I want to have the conversation. Like I want to pause this bitch and be like, "This motherfucker did you just see that?" I
Wait,
want to
okay.
like,
We can actually do that.
okay, let's do it.
Let's talk
Let's
to
talk
our
about it.
friend
Let's-
after
okay.
this, and we could use their screening room
Absolutely.
and do a little Euphoria watch party.
Absolutely,
So
because
something, you know.
you have to
and then we
talk
could
about
dress up. We could dress up in our Euphoria outfit.
That is a vibe.
Ooh.
Wait. Okay, what if it was like when you go to Euphoria high school, but you also like work for Vans and then work for Afropunk, and then we do
Yes.
like some goth makeup and like Vans shoes, and then
Van
we have
shoes,
the
and then
little
just like a little
ding,
scanty
ding,
little.
ding, ding, ding.
Yes,
Okay.
we're doing
A concept.
that.
We'll think about
we're
it.
doing that. We're doing that. We're doing that. We're doing that. We're gonna show up looking like Kat. Yes, we
Kat?
are.
Yo,
doing
people
that.
are sleeping on Kat. I'm not gonna hold you. Kat is
my
my girl.
favorite.
People be like Maddie, but Kat got the bad bitch energy on 10.
She does.
On
Who are your
11,
favorite
on 12.
characters?
Maddie.
People talking about Maddie. Look,
Are we
Maddie,
talking
look.
about like what are favorite characters in terms of what? Like
I don't know,
actual
like, anything.
character
Like-
development?
Like, not even character development, but like, okay, so my favorite people on the show as people, not like their style, their this, or whatever, but as people, I love Lexi and I love Fesco. Those are
I
my,
love
and
Fesco.
Ashtray.
Ashtray is a- yo, he's a nigga.
Ashtray.
He's a- But look,
Ashtray is a
okay.
little something.
Ashtray will
But
beat
as
your
like
ass.
people, I like Lexi and I like Fesco the most. I feel like everybody else is just so like focused on themselves and what they're doing that they don't even realize what they're doing to themselves and to other people. You know what I mean? Like everyone is so focused on, like Nate is so focused on himself. Maddie is so focused
Nate
on
is
himself.
focused on Maddie.
No,
and
he's
his
not.
daddy.
But he's focused on Maddie because he's focused on himself.
Oh, I don't think if he was focused on
Like he
himself,
wants
he
to
wouldn't be
own
focused
her.
on either one of
like
those people.
he wants to own her. He wants control. He's so focused on like what he wants that he doesn't like. He beats her up. Like he doesn't care about
That was
her.
once. That was literally
Girl,
one time.
What are you talking
No,
about?
I'm serious. Like that was literally. It wasn't. They didn't get like.
They're not. They're toxic
He
and they're
choked her,
unhealthy.
and there was once, and it was because she was acting crazy. I'm not condoning it,
I mean,
but it definitely
what
was
she
like
said-
they
what she
don't.
said
He don't
was
beat her.
crazy. What she said was crazy.
He don't beat her up
But you
every
can't
day.
tell me you don't think he would.
No, he absolutely
Exactly.
would. He absolutely fucking would. He absolutely would. He should have,
like,
because this bitch is crazy.
He's so
Not that
focused
I'm
on
condoning
himself
that, but
and
she
having
crazy.
control over certain people. He just wants to control Maddie.
I would've beat her ass, too.
Maddie is so
Shit.
focused on herself. That's why she likes Nate, because Nate be buying her fur coats and be making her look good. You know,
But
the
that's
dad is so
grooming.
focused on
That's
himself.
grooming, bro.
Huh?
Grooming.
But I think that's what I'm saying. Like, everybody else is so focused on like themselves and what they gain from having control or being addicted to this certain thing. Lexi and Fezco are the only people that you actually see do something for somebody else. Every time Rue comes knocking on Lexi's door,
that's the premise of
she
their
gives her
characters,
pee so that she can go and get her drug test, and it'll come back negative.
And then for her sister,
Fezco literally like gave this dude $600 so that he wouldn't do anything bad to Rue.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're the only people, and freaking like bashed a bottle over Nate's head to protect Jules and Rue.
No, that wasn't because of that. That's because he called the cops on him.
No, but he threatened to kill him.
He actually did say leave her alone.
And he didn't even know why.
Yeah.
He just said, you messing with them, and I don't like that. Don't mess with them, or I'm going to have to kill you.
You
know what I mean?
He does say
so
that.
Lexi and Fezco are the only people we've actually seen on this show do something for somebody else. Everybody else
You're not wrong.
Only doing things for their own gains.
That's why you like them.
Yeah, that's why I like them as people, right?
Got it.
Now, as characters, I'm starting to be really interested. Like, I don't know, Cassie is really interesting, especially what she's going through right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
so
weird.
sad. Yeah. It's very, but it also speaks to the like the dynamic that is like femininity in itself. I feel like she has like this rage in her, but she hasn't been able to like tap into it because of the relationship with her father, because of the relationship with Maddie, and now Nate in the picture, and that kind of like creates like trifecta. And then what was her boyfriend's name? I
didn't like them at all.
They made me want to throw up. I was so uncomfortable. Like McKay, yeah. I was like, this seems very token.
And they were just like, they like kept saying that they loved each other. And I was
no, they didn't.
I was just kind of like, what?
No, they didn't.
Like, you don't have to say that.
Yeah, it was admirable because he definitely like people were slut shaming her for like all his boys were slut shaming her, and he was really held it down. He was like, nah, that's not what it is.
He's like, she's into this. She's
but
smart.
He really had some like things that, I mean, when he was in college and the people like ran up on him when he was like naked and like beat him up or whatever, I feel like that messed with him mentally. And then his relationship with his father was like, so like, you have to be a man, you need to be a football player, you need to be this image of like what this person is, especially since he's like the only two like black people who are in the school.
The show,
like that's a big deal. So I feel like getting Cassie was like a trophy for him, but he couldn't maintain that because he couldn't maintain himself.
No.
So it was like, for what? This is not even a real.
Through way too much.
Yeah.
He was just going through way too much.
Hell yeah.
It was just like a very unnecessary relationship.
It was.
To even, whatever.
And it's messy because like now she's messing with Nate. I'm like, damn, you messing with your friend?
Saying all this stuff about her. I don't know. I feel like because like the unfortunate thing about her is that because she is like so enamored by love, and I don't think she really can make any clear decisions when it comes to men, she becomes a pushover where she says yes all the time.
Yeah, didn't Maddie bring that up?
Yeah, and that gives her like a certain perception. So now people look at her like she's a hoe or she's this or she's whatever. And so when she stands up for herself and when she tries to not be that, she's then slut-shamed.
That's a real issue amongst
crazy.
Women. Like it really is. Like it's not even
like
a joke.
The way that
like,
men speak to her on the show is horrible. Yeah. Like the things that people tell her on the show, it's like she probably gets dished out the worst. The worst verbal
and she's very passive about it too, like, but you saw when that moment where she's in the mirror and she like breaks down and she's like telling people off like I fucked your friend and da 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 and I'm tired of this, I'm tired of that, I just want to like whatever, and then they go to the next scene and it's like she wanted to say that but she didn't. So it really speaks to like she has an internal rage like that she's not exposing yet, and I don't want to even say this and preface this, but I feel like something's gonna happen to her or she's gonna do something to herself because it has to come to a point, like a boiling point.
The way that she was like, even in the scenes where she was getting ready for school, the way that
every
she was,
day,
like she was like rolling the jade roller on her face so hard
it was
the point
red.
Where I thought she was gonna break through her skin.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I think her rage is building up, and like she's gonna start to go through this. Well, she already is doing this thing where she's trying to like look perfect and be things that she's
trying
not.
to look like Maddie.
She's trying to look like Maddie when she pulled up to school.
Exactly.
And Maddie was like,
she said bitch. She didn't even say bitch, but I knew she said bitch.
She said, stop. She was like, wait.
Bitch.
I was like, hold up, wait, you know what I mean? And at the same time, like, she's setting herself up to be upset because every time that Nate does something to Maddie, she's gonna be texting you. Like, Maddie's probably gonna text her,
That's
like, Nate
so
brought
messy.
me flowers.
Like,
meanwhile, Nate stood her up. She's probably gonna be texting
So messy.
Cassie like, oh, Nate came and took me on a date last night, whatever. And Cassie's like, oh, he stood me up to take you on. You know what I mean? So I don't know. And like, they did say that she falls in love with every guy that she's ever been with. I think she's addicted to love.
Yeah, they did say that. Yeah.
She's addicted to love, and she's like so quick to kind of feel
is this
safe.
show about addictions?
It is. So I
like
think
everyone's addictions.
Yeah, I think
what
she's
the? Oh
addicted
my
to love.
god! I did that.
Nate is addicted to control.
Yes.
Rue is obviously addicted to drugs. Rue is my least favorite character.
Control. Okay, you said Nate is addicted to control.
Nate is addicted to control.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cassie is addicted to love.
Okay. Cool.
Who else? we
Rue
got?
addicted to drugs.
Rue
literally.
addicted to drugs
or pain.
Both.
Okay.
I saw this thing that said that. What
about Jules?
I saw this thing that said that Jules is addicted to chasing femininity. Which I don't even know if that's like a thing.
No, because her style has changed from like very, very quote unquote feminine to very much like tomgirl, like tomboy kind of style, grungy.
Yeah, I don't even know how you would.
I think she's addicted to sex. That's what I think she's
Maybe.
addicted to, because the way that she's so like unemotional about it. Because remember
Maybe
in the
she's
scene
like
where she's
addicted
like,
to just being like desired.
but she's not desired.
You know what I mean?
Like she thinks she's desirable because she was never desirable, and she had to change herself to be what she felt like was desirable for her. And now it's like in turn, I feel like she's dead inside. Like it feels like she's trying to
she's like going through the motions.
Yeah, but she's just not being like radical about it at how Rue is. Like she's taking drugs, so she doesn't want to deal with it. But I really feel like she's just, and this is the ending scene which made me think this. I'm like, when she's talking to homeboy, what's his name? The Dominic Fike.
Elliot.
Elliot. When she's talking to Elliot and he's like buttering her up like, oh, you're fuckable or whatever. I was like, but also like, wow, like, ew, he's disgusting. Why would he like say it to her? But she didn't budge.
No.
She
likes that.
Exactly. So I feel like she's just addicted to attention
like
and sex.
Sexualness.
Yes. Yeah. And then he was like, oh, do you think Rue is a sexual being? And she's like, no.
Not the most sexual.
You know what I mean? So she knows like what she is. And I feel like she hasn't fully like accepted it because she wants to be regular for Rue. You know what I mean? Like, you are what you are, babes. We already know that. Like, you're fucking people in hotels. Like,
yeah, that's what he said. What did he say? You've had sex with the entire galaxy? That's what he said. You've been ran through by the entire galaxy.
And she didn't budge.
And she didn't budge. She was like,
okay, yeah, that's true.
She was like, are you, she was kind of just like, well, do you mean it negatively or positively?
Right.
Like, she was like, it's a fact, but how are you interpreting the fact?
Right, which leads me to believe that she doesn't even know how she feels about it.
No, I don't think so.
Come on.
I don't think she does. Yeah, I think everyone on the show is addicted to something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone on the show is definitely addicted to something.
So what is, and I mean, speaking to your two favorite characters, what is Fezco and Lexi addicted to?
I don't know what they would be addicted to.
Huh.
Like, what would they be addicted to?
Yeah.
I don't know what they'd be addicted to. Yeah.
Maybe their lack of addiction is what makes them more dynamic characters that we need to see. Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe they don't have that thing.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it is. They definitely have a certain lack of addiction that everybody else doesn't have. Everybody else is constantly trying to like chase that next high, or they have some sort of agenda, right? These are the only two characters who don't have an agenda. Maddie's always trying to get back with Nate.
It's more survival. Their agenda is like surviving.
Yeah, they're just trying to like stay around in this world where there's so much happening.
Yeah.
And I think because both of them come from environments where, you know, they've just had to absorb so much at such a young age.
Toxic
and
shit.
they weren't really able to like verbalize or be the dynamic, you know, the dynamic person with this agenda. Like, for instance, Lexi has Maddie as a sister, has a mom who, you know, they allude to
Lexi
being...
has Cassie as a sister.
Has Cassie as a sister. They allude to the mom being an alcoholic. The dad is addicted to pills. So for her to even somewhat be normal, she kind of just has to be. She kind of has to just be like, this is my world, and everybody in my world is so dynamic, and there's so much going on, and there's so much craziness
that I can't.
Like,
I'm not allowed to have that.
I can't even imagine. Like, what is she gonna do now? Like, there's not really much space for her to be anything.
I feel like she's gonna be a drug dealer. She's gonna hook up with Fez.
Oh.
That's what I feel like they're like putting that, because boom, remember they were in the convenience store, and Nate's, this is so fun, I love talking about this, like, oh my god. So Nate's dad rolled up. We think he's gonna shoot Fez, but she just kind of stood there. But I feel like she was like gonna do something, because her energy was like, I will pop off, but I'm gonna act like, because the eye contact that they gave, it was like, I know what you about to do. And her energy was sent straight to Fezco, because then Fezco sent the energy to Ashtray, and Ashtray got the gat. Within 2 seconds.
Within 2 seconds. I love Fezco and Ashtray. Ashtray be killing me. Ashtray always got the gat. Dude, always got the gat. I was like, he needs to stop. He needs to just
had the gat since like 2.
Since 2 he had the gat. Like, he needs to chill. Like when he killed the mouse guy, and then when he like was beating Nate's dad with the gun.
With the butt of the gun, He didn't stop either.
He said, call him. He said, my friend is so-and-so grieved. He said, call him. Call him. Oh my gosh.
But I feel like you need to have a character like that. I feel like all the energy that you were saying, like how I'm sorry, Lexi. It's Lexi, right? Yeah. How Lexi absorbs Cassie, her mom, her dad, and then Rue as well. I feel like Fezco absorbs what he can, and then the rest Ashtray absorbs, but he is not radical about it. He's just mad chill. He literally is a shooter, like literally that is his shooter. You know what I mean?
Ashtray's literally his shooter. He's just like mad chill, but then he comes from like, you know, his dad being abusive, then his grandma just being like a full-on gangster. Like
that
shooting
was such
people,
a good episode,
like beating people, you know what I mean? So he's kind of like, I know how to take it there and what to do if it gets there, but I'ma just be chill, you know what I mean? Because I've seen so much so young. I think that's the thing with both of them.
Well, Ashtray,
they've seen so much so young.
The reason why Ashtray was there is someone like left their baby as collateral, and that was the baby. And then they just never got the baby, and then they became like a part of the family. So we don't even know what their family could have been drug addicts, and that could have been something in his system, or he could have already been like predisposed to something, and just then it came out like you know. But
I think that's probably what it is with Ashtray.
So interesting.
You know, he's got a lot going on that nobody would ever be able to know, you know what I mean? And he's not a child. He's not a kid. He's not a kid. He's a grown man, which is really
he forfeited
sad.
That.
Which is so sad. He's a grown man.
But I wanted to ask you, and this is not a main character, like, so it might not be like interesting, but I do like the character development and how they're kind of like creating this opportunity for conversation about sexuality for older people, or for other people. I don't want to say older, but you know what I mean?
Non-high schoolers.
Yeah, not high school, exactly. For like not, you know, but Nate's dad.
Oh my God.
The last episode was literally like us seeing why Nate and his dad have such a tumultuous relationship, and both have issues with their sexuality, is because literally Nate's dad was gay and couldn't live that life because he had to have Nate.
So one, do you think that Nate has issues with his sexuality?
Absolutely. What?
Okay, because I thought so. My assumption, well, not my assumption. I always knew before watching the show, because I started with season 1 about 3 weeks ago, and I've watched season 1 through season 2 now. So I started watching the show about a year late, but I've watched every episode, right?
Okay.
So my assumption with Nate was that he was doing that, like the stuff with Jules and whatever, as a way to get a better understanding. Not a way to get a better understanding, as a way to trap Jules, to create some sort of collateral, so that if she did something, or if she came out against his dad, he would be able to get ahead of it, right? Which is what he did by then, like, you know, flipping the switch and making her rat on somebody who was innocent, and just completely manipulating the situation, right, in order to protect his dad, which is what he thought he was doing, not knowing that Jules had no intention of saying or doing anything.
So straight up catfishing.
Right, straight up catfishing her, right? I didn't think that he was like attracted to her, that he wanted her. I know that he kissed her, but I didn't think that he wanted her, or that he was questioning his sexuality for that reason, or anything like that.
Baby, you don't kiss people. Like, just like, I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, here you go. Like, I'm not gonna do that,
because then I'm like, I don't think that he's, and I could have forgotten something, but I don't think that he's like shown anything that would suggest that
He hasn't slept with her.
like
so
well, not slept with her, but that anything that would suggest that he, you know, has a different sexuality or wants to explore his sexuality or has an itch to explore his sexuality. Like, I don't think he's shown that.
you know why?
You know what I mean? Like a lot
ahead.
of people kiss a lot of people. I'm sure that there's dudes who are all across the spectrum, whether, you know, straight or gay or somewhere in between, or any gender, that has kissed somebody of the same gender, and, you know,
But that
and
in
that not
itself-
actually been what they found their sexuality to be, or even that wasn't necessarily like a build up in them understanding their sexuality or exploring their sexuality.
That in
You know
itself
what
is
I mean?
him exploring his sexuality. Otherwise, he would just stay as he is. He wouldn't even question
Well,
or
but is
even
he? But I'm saying,
explore
like, is
anything.
him? Like, yeah, but him just kissing somebody or somebody just kissing somebody doesn't necessarily mean that it's like an expression of their sexuality. Do you get what I'm saying?
I disagree. I wholeheartedly disagree, babes. I can't. I
so.
can't hold you to that. I'm sorry. I can't. I can't.
think so.
I can't because it wasn't
And I
like
think
just
in
like
the
a.
context of like a fictional show as well, right?
Yeah.
Like, if a dude kisses another dude, it might not necessarily be an expression of his sexuality.
It depends on the
he might
context.
just kiss a dude to kiss a dude.
It might be the context. Like, absolutely, that could be a cultural thing, but the context is what makes it what it is. He brought her to a lake by him, motherfucking self.
threaten her.
Listen.
To
Was
threaten
sending her
her.
dick pics the whole time. Was having whole conversations
To
with.
threaten her, to manipulate
No.
her.
That wasn't
To get
then
her
yet.
to send naked pictures of herself so that he could then say, if
But
you
reel
don't
it
do
back.
X, Y, and Z, I will put you in jail for child pornography.
Fair enough. Reel it back. That was after she rejected him. He didn't bring that to the table initially. That was literally, he had that in his back pocket to be like, okay, you're gonna reject me, then cool. I can't control you.
Maybe.
Here, boom.
Maybe.
And then also think about the first day we see Jules. I love this. The first day we see Jules biking, right? And he's like, oh, look, fresh meat.
Yeah.
To what's his face? He didn't even know what that she was transgender yet.
Yeah.
He couldn't tell that out the fucking car. He was already like,
Okay,
oh,
so you're saying he was attracted to her
he was
from the
attracted
beginning.
off rip. Then he said, oh, okay. And made a whole spectacle out of it in public saying,
Yeah.
I know what you are. Because he felt threatened.
Yeah.
That's literally has happened in
Yeah,
a lot of cases where men or people who identify as men are like, oh,
Now
I didn't
the-
know that this person was transgender. And then they want to kill them.
Yeah,
you know
now they
what I
wanna be,
mean?
like,
So
on
I
the
feel
offense.
like he had to make that whole spectacle to make it seem like, oh, he wasn't actually attracted
Yeah.
to it because that happened in front of his boy.
Yeah.
So it's a whole
Okay,
thing.
so
like,
that part I could see, but I just don't, like, throughout, like, especially season 2 and towards the end of season 1, I don't really see, maybe because he's less of a focus, but I don't really see him, like,
he's unhinged
even
now.
considering anything.
He's unhinged.
You know what I mean?
He is fucking unhinged. He almost he was in a coma, right? I think like
Yeah.
what happened?
Yeah.
He
But
wanted to
one
die.
of the things I
like-
don't really see him like you. We thought that there was going to be something that would come out. Remember when Maddie was like, "Oh, I saw these pictures on your phone. If you're exploring your sexuality, it's okay." Da, 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 da. We have been anticipating that we would see him exploring his sexuality throughout the episodes, and we haven't really seen that.
Baby,
We've seen him,
we got a whole
We've seen
season
him
to
hooking
cover
up
right
with.
now.
I mean, yeah, but we see him hooking up with Maddie and with Cassie, imagining his life with Cassie if she were to get pregnant. You know what I mean? So, like, we don't really see him exploring
That
his
is true.
sexuality.
That is true.
So now I'm wondering, like, was that thing with Jules just because he wanted to be able to manipulate her, and it had nothing to do with whether or not he was exploring his sexuality or interested in her or whatever the case is.
That's a
You know
good
what I
point.
mean?
That's a good
I think
point.
like a lot of it is him just trying to find all of this evidence or things that can incriminate other people
So he's
so that he
scotch-free,
can be in
yeah.
control and he can protect his dad or protect his house or whatever the case
I don't
may
think he
be.
gives a fuck about his
You
dad.
know what I mean?
I think he really hates his dad.
I think he does hate his dad, but at the same time, he still wants to be able to, like, get ahead of it. Because at the same time, if his dad goes to jail, then there goes his whole life.
But
like,
his
he's a
life
kid,
is already
you know what
fucked
I mean?
because he's now a domestic.
No. Yes,
You know.
but he's a kid, right? So he's living under his father's roof. If his dad goes to jail and loses his job, like his dad's whole reputation is ruined. That affects his life too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's
that's
not just
true.
like he hates his neighbor or something like that, right?
Yeah.
He has the same last name as his dad.
He did actually confront his dad and be like, "I did all this for you." He did
Yeah,
say that
in the
too.
last episode where the dad was like, "Where's the tape?"
Yeah.
he was like, "The tape."
He didn't even say anything. He was just like,
"What tape?" You know what I mean? And now Maddie
Yeah.
has the tape.
"Oh, Maddie has the tape.
Yes,
Maddie has the
took
tape. Did she watch it? Did I miss that?
I don't know if she watched it, but she has the
She
tape.
has it?
Because it was in a book in his room, which was like a stupid. Why would you have it?
Oh, yeah.
Why would you have it just out? Like, not even in a drawer,
Yeah.
bro. It was in a book in his room, and she saw that there was a massive space in the book. She opened the book, and there's the lime green CD. And she took it with her. You know what I mean? And I do think that since Nate in his origin story, we did see that he grew up like watching his dad.
I'm sorry.
Very.
Cherry, what is this mix? Because what? I feel like my ears are like, oh my god. What? This is
really
just
good.
so, it just fits so like
It's really, really good.
nicely.
It's really, really
So
good.
nicely.
Anyways, yeah. So I think that I don't know, the whole
Yeah.
Nate Cassie thing is.
We've said enough. We've said enough.
We've said enough.
We'll pick this up after Sunday.
Yeah, we're gonna
Right,
get
for
some
sure.
laughs in.
For sure.
Demelt or leave with the
Yeah.
jokes.
It's all about exposure. We need to be around each other more, okay? That's what I've come to realize. When I was in school in Boston, I had a friend, white dude, and he turned to me when we were casually playing video games. He was like, Jamel, is it cool if I tell you something you won't think it's racist? Now, obviously, my first inclination was this is about to be some racist shit, but this is a safe place. Go ahead, Hayden. Tell me your truth. He was like, you're the first black person I've ever had a conversation with, which is mind-blowing. Was I upset? No. If anything, I felt really good about it. I was really glad it was me and not somebody else. Could you imagine like what that experience must be like? I was his first time. That's an emotional connection. But I kept thinking, like, how does anyone from Providence, Rhode Island, talk to their first black person when they're 19? That's crazy. What did he go tell his parents after he'd met me at school? He was like, Papa, I met the black people. They're not mean, they're nice. What do you mean? Basketball is a wonderful sport. That's also how I imagine white people that don't talk black people talk. Everything is like old Mary Poppins English. Papa, I want one. Can we get one? This is ridiculous. You got to test your white friends. You do. You got to test all your friends, but you should probably give them an extra test or two because they don't have the track record to suggest otherwise. Here's a good test. Throw a party. Play a bunch of good music. Okay? Get everybody riled up. Everybody's drinking, having a good time. Wait till they're really drunk and then play Gold Digger by Kanye West. When he says, I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no, pause the music. See what happens. See if they don't break your heart. See if Jake don't look you right in your eyes and finish that verse. It ruined everything. Ask them who the first black president was. If they say Barack Obama, they're not really with the shits. Because every real black person knows Bill Clinton is the first black president. Why, Jamel? Why do you say that? Because no white person would get head at work and lie about it. Only we would. If you told me that with no context, I'd be like, yo, why Jamal did that? He can't go back there now. And he got away with it, which is fucking mind-blowing.
Keep the wheels on the track. Yo, you already know it's your boy BS, man.
Put her like in the sky whenever I look. She got her clothes off from the walk, and she won't waste no time for. Wanna be I can't be what you want, then you're having the same story. Janice City is my palace. Janice City is my palace. Janice City is my palace. City is my palace. Janice City is my palace. Janice City is my palace.
Well, you know, trust has always meant a lot to all of us. For us to stay together, where one would make a decision and the rest would follow. I don't know, yeah. The way we thought, the way things should be. I guess the way things should go. Soul to soul.
I need a woman. My name's Baby. No, looking for her.
The goodness and all he has done for me.
whole lot of money. Bitches counting for me. Bottle keep popping water. Traz a lenha pro fogão, vem fazer armação. Hoje é um dia de sol, alegria de coió, é curtir o verão.
Vem, Magaleia Rojão, traz a lenha pro fogão, vem fazer armação. Hoje é um dia de sol, alegria de coió, é curtir o verão.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Vem, Magalinha Rojão, traz a senha pro fogo, decoração. Hoje é um dia de sol, alegria de xotó, meu dever de verão.
Vem, Magaleia Rojão, traz a senha pro fogão, decoração. Hoje é um dia de sol, alegria de xotó, meu dever de verão.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Calango, calango da pretinha, tô cantando essa mudinha pra senhora se lembrar. Aquele tempo que vivia lá na raça com uma filha na barriga e outra filha pra criar.
Calango da pretinha, tô cantando essa mudinha pra senhora se lembrar. Naquele tempo que vivia lá na roça com uma filha na barriga e outra filha pra criar. Calango da pretinha, tô cantando essa mudinha pra senhora se lembrar. Naquele tempo que vivia lá na roça com uma filha na barriga e outra filha pra criar.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
The game.
I'm dating a lot in the city, having a lot of consensual sex, which is dope. The only problem is I'm a very sensual person, right? Like I'm not dom or anything like that. And I found that the expectation being a black man is that you're going to be very aggressive, very dominant, especially for white women. Like sexting white girls is outrageous at times. I text this one girl, good morning. She was like, you know what would make my morning better? If you came over here and bent me over. I was like, can I eat my cereal first? Why does it have to be like this every time? Every time you sext a white girl, when you sext a white girl, you're going to get, come over and give me this big black dick. Why don't you give me that big monster dick? Oh my gosh. She's going to be so disappointed when I get over there. What does she think I have? Like it's a penis, not an AR-15. Relax. She think I'm going to come over there with all 6 of my cousins? It's not a Badingo party. I'm trying to get to know you, girl. Break my heart. There's a lot of expectations also when you're a black man having sex, because women expect for you to both enjoy yourself and last long, which doesn't make any sense to me. Let's pick one, because somebody got to drive home, and I don't want to be out of breath. We could watch porn. The only problem with porn is porn doubles down on those unrealistic expectations. Okay? I've seen some video. I was on Pornhub the other day, and there's a video. It was 4 hours. It was 4 hours and 35 minutes long. This is real. Who is fucking in Harry Potter runtime? You fucking longer than the Prisoner of Azkaban? That's wild. All porn videos need to be 4 minutes max. Okay, let's let everybody know where they need to be at. 4 minutes, and let's get up out of there. I be trying to save the world, fam. I really do. But then I find out all these crazy things that go on in pop culture and society that you don't even realize. The beautiful thing about 2020, 2021, 2022 is that we're uncovering a bunch of stuff. J.K. Rowling has been transphobic and anti-Semitic all in the same calendar year. That's wild. I don't know what award she's looking for, but she's killing it. Jon Stewart made a great point. He was like, yo, why is it that in a world full of magical creatures and dragons and all this stuff that she still made goblins, like Jewish looking goblins, run the bank, which is mind-blowing to me. Like, they had the longest nails, they had like razor sharp teeth, they were like Harry Potter, like super disrespectful stuff. And it really opened my eyes to all the other things that were going on in some of the movies that I love. Like, I'm a big Star Wars fan, right? Huge Star Wars fan. I love it. And then I watched New Hope, and I realized they started calling the indigenous people of this planet sand people, which is ridiculous. George Lucas got away with calling the indigenous folk of this desert planet sand people for 45 years and no one said anything. Imagine being in that writing room. He was like, okay, guys, we need to put some people on this desert planet. What are we thinking? Sand people? Yeah, let's keep it straightforward. Let them all know what we're talking about. How should they look, George? That's a good question. Let's give them turbans, but instead of their head, let's just wrap it around their whole body and put goggles on them, right? We don't need to see their face. They don't matter. Okay, perfect. Well, what kind of weapons do they carry, George? This is space. We got battleships. We got laser beams. We got all this cool stuff. He was like, no, you're right. You're making good points. Let's give them spears. Let's just go with straight spears, and I think that's good enough. Well, what are they going to sound like, George? I mean, they got to have a language like everybody's talking. You're right. It's got to be authentic, too. It's got to let people know these are the indigenous folk of this area. That's literally what the Sand people, the Tuscans, that's exactly what they sound like. They don't say words. They don't use sign language. They see a dude walk by them. They look at them for a long time. And then they go, which is the most racist thing I've ever heard in my life. It's insane.
Racism sucks. That's all.
So does Harry Potter watch time sucks. So, yeah. Absolutely. But whatever. We have an infomercial that you did with Terrell Kirk, right?
Yes, we have an infomercial with Terrell Kirk, who is the owner and creator of The Crate New York.
Love that.
Which is gonna be your new favorite streetwear brand. Okay, check them out. Go on their website. They've got some really dope products. But also they do a ton for the community. The majority of our conversation, we spoke about him staying in Far Rockaway and his decision to open the store in Far Rockaway and to bring people to Far Rockaway as opposed to taking the store somewhere else. Yeah, I know.
I was trying to be low, like, and you just didn't get it.
No, I was like, I look like I said right up, but it's there, whatever. Yeah, so he's really, 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 really great.
Dope. I'm excited to see this infomercial.
The Crate is dope. We had a really good time talking to each other. He actually had done a podcast. Like, he was a host of a podcast before. So he's really easy to talk to.
Dope.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Get into it, y'all.
What's up, guys? It's Fia from Afropunk's channel Interference, and we're back with the wonderful Terrell from The Crate.
Been Black in Far Rockaway, America. Thank you, Vance. Thank you, Fia, for having me here. It's a pleasure.
Of course.
I'm coughing a little bit. Coughing is terrorism. Ignore me. It's not COVID. Got a little bronchitis. Everything's good. Everything's smooth. Fear's in good hands. Go ahead.
Yes. Can you tell us a little bit about your brand and where it started, why it started?
So the crate started from just some black guys wanting to be from the hood and starting a business. And initially we was gonna open a seafood spot, and my friend was like, yo, let's do a clothing store. Fast forward, he was like, yo, I think we should call it The Crate. And that was all based off of Stack Bundles Code. It's a rapper from Far Rockaway. He passed away a couple years ago. And he was like, yo, fresh off the block, I got the print of The Crate on me. So when you think about that aspect, it was like, I'm fly all day, I'm sitting on the block. But my clothes, when you get up, I got the print still on my ass, like, but I got fly shit on. So it was like, when we thought about The Crate, it was like, yo, that's it. That's The Crate. Like, anything that represents the hood is The Crate. When you think about the kids playing on the milk crate, it made a connection. When you think about the dudes in the park, they used to bring the records out with the turntables, brought people together. If they on the corner, The Crate just brings people together.
What about Far Rockaway inspires the products that you make? Because I see some of the stuff like stop acting like you support black people, crackers gone crack. Like, tell me a little bit more.
So funny enough, the tie-dye, how the tie-dye thing actually came about, there was where I was living for a while, there was like a home for like, you know, like people that were like a little mental, and there was a guy that used to come around on a regular wearing tie-dye tees every day. He used to wear the Grateful Dead t-shirts.
Ah, okay.
So I think in like 2016, I was like, yo, I want to make some tie-dye tees, right? And we had like the toughest dudes in the hood wearing like that carry like, you know, guns and shit wearing tie-dye tees. We was like, oh shit, like we got something here, right? And from that moment, I think I just started like creating t-shirts. Like I seen the fire trucks coming down the block one day, and I thought back to like the school safety commercials that used to come on back in the days, McGruff. Mm-hmm. And he used to be cool about fire safety, but he used to always say stop, drop, and roll. So I made a t-shirt that said Crate Fire Department, stop, drop, and roll, we might not make it. A play on the Scruff McGruff shit. So it was like, I'm watching the things that's going on in the neighborhood, and I'm just like, all right, how can I intertwine that with what I'm doing with The Crate? Because it's like, you can't just keep making stuff to say The Crate. You got to make things that's like, all right, Crate Chinese food store. It says real chicken, extra $2.75. That's because I'm buying chicken from the Chinese food store, and I don't like the way the chicken is looking. Feel me? So, I mean, I think for the most part, the reason I'm so embedded in Far Rockaway, and I love being in Far Rockaway, and when people tell me to come to the city, you can't get that feel to make something that says Crate New York motherfucking city, because this is things that I'm hearing around me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is sick. And that's all embroidery, by the way. That's not screen print. That's embroidery.
No, this is the expensive stuff. Only the best.
That's a fact. There's so many creatives in the city. And they think all the creativity lies in the city, but it lies wherever you're at. So you just got to look around and just see like, oh, I like the way that looks. I like the way this looks. So Far Rockaway is like my little melting pot. That's where I build my creativity at. So I definitely always want to keep a store in Far Rockaway because it's home base.
Yeah.
It's like, people say that to me, like, what makes the store so much more special is that it's coming from Far Rockaway. You immediately said that, like, yo, this stuff is being made and you're selling it in Far Rockaway. So when people have to come to Far Rockaway, or I do an event in the back of the store and there's 500 people, I'm bringing light to Far Rockaway. That's like, there's nothing doper than that, like making your hood lit.
Yep.
You know, a lot of times, I'd rather the product speak for itself. I'd rather you not judge me on the product. You feel what I'm saying? Because I might say some Dave Chappelle shit.
Yeah,
I might say some shit that's out of whack, and people are looking at me like I'm crazy. So it's like, all right, let's separate me from the brand. If you enjoy the brand, you enjoy the brand. And I think a lot of the times, I see people with the stuff on, and I'm staring them in their face like, yo, you got my shit on. And they're looking at me like, why are you looking at me, bro? I was at a point where I had quit a job for 2 years, and I was like, yo, I gotta do something else for myself. Like, I can't be outside all the time hanging out with my friends. Even when we started the brand, we started the Crate, we were selling brands. We made t-shirts, But we weren't sure about making a brand. It's not until Kanye West wore the t-shirt, we were like, oh.
So Kanye West wore which t-shirt?
He wore the fire department t-shirt. I should have had it here. What am I doing? He wore a fire department t-shirt in 2017. And what was so cool about it was, I guess he was like a volunteer firefighter. That was the t-shirt I was telling you about. Stop, Drop, and Roll. He was like, I was a volunteer firefighter, and I used to miss, like, it was like some story, like he used to miss fires or some shit like that. He's like, yo, so whoever came with this is like, this is pretty cool. Like, this is like a genius thing. Like, I like it. And we ended up giving him like a bunch of extra large, and he was wearing them like, they say like once a week. Like, he literally was wearing the shirt once a week for like a year straight.
Staple.
So it was like the day he wore the shirt, we might have sold a couple 100 t-shirts overnight. Like, and I was like, okay, I can keep doing this. I know how to make, if he likes this.
If Kanye wants it, I can do it.
Yeah, like if Kanye's wearing my shit, I don't give a fuck what none of y'all niggas talking about. Like, it's lit already. Like, so immediately after Kanye wore it, I was like, all right, this could be some shit, right? I'm broke. I'm fucked up. I don't got no money. But I'm working though. I got ambition. I know what I want. I'm getting up every morning. I'm trying something. I got a job. Started working in the union. In working that job, somebody at work was like, yo, we talking about clothes. He was like, yo, my man right here know about clothes. This nigga, bro, he got the crate. You don't own the crate? I'm like, yeah. He like, what are you doing? I'm like, bro, I need money. He like, nah, you're not working hard enough. You're not working hard enough. I know about your store since Money and Balance. It was a show called Money and Balance, remember? I think like way back, it was like a YouTube series. But we didn't know how to bubble after that. We didn't know how to turn it up.
Okay, how to like make it into something.
We didn't know how to turn it into something. We just knew.
That's cool.
Right. And that was advertisement right there. And at that time, it's like, we were supposed to step on the gas. We didn't. All fair. We from the hood. We learning. We trying to figure it out. All right. He says to me, yo, you got to work hard on what you got. The goal is right in front of your face. Yo, bro, if you don't want to take your business serious, I'll help you take it serious. A couple months went by. Got in arguments with a couple bosses. I quit. It's over. I'm not doing this. I'm not letting nobody talk to me how they want to talk to me no more. It's over. I'm going to focus on what I have in front of me. As I started focusing on what I had in front of me, it was growing slowly, shortly. But coronavirus, those things happening, COVID happening, it sat me down. And I remember having like a significant amount of product. And my partners, saying, yo, what are you going to do? You just ordered all this stuff. And what are you about to do? Like, this shit going to sit in the store. No, it's not. I remember they put us on a 14-day quarantine, right? Mm-hmm. I sat in the crib the first day. And the next 13 days, I had my trunk packed. And I pulled up the motherfuckers' cribs with clothes and was selling it out the trunk. And I think at that moment, I was like, all right, God is teaching me two things. He's teaching me to be grateful of what you have, right? Because everything stopped at that very moment, right? But at the same time, it was like the people who was at a standstill during Corona, it showed. The people who were grinding through Corona, it shows, right? So I said, fuck that. I'm going to take my time and I'm going to create a collection. Instead of putting out 3 t-shirts, instead of putting out 4 hoodies, I'm going to give them 5 sweatsuits. I'm going to give them different crew necks. I'm going to give them t-shirts. Right? Yeah, pop your shit. Go ahead. Yeah. Right? I'm not just going to make a little t-shirt here and there, drop a little windbreaker pin. Nah, I got to give them everything I want. And I'm still learning. I'm still not where I want to be, but my structure has gotten better. And I think that got one guy talking to me. I'm a stand. He's an iron worker. He's Crick. All right? He's a gang member. But what he said to me that day was like, it was like the wake-up call. And I remember fast forward, right when I was going to quit the job, I remember making some tie-dye tees. I came back to I wanted to get that feeling back, of wanting to make the clothes. And I told you, the first time I made the tie-dye was in 2016. The next time, fast forward, I made them was 2019. It taught me how to be structured, calm down, create, get my notes together, get my thoughts together. I start rambling off. It's like, nah, I just take my time with everything. I just put everything to a pause. I haven't took vacations in a long time. I literally was like, you know what? I got to go on a vacation. You get what I'm saying? Like, I got to get a week to just decompress. You feel me? And that's how I'm able to just keep going and keep coming up with stuff.
Obviously, you get like a lot of attraction to the brand from the likes of different celebrities and people and this and that. Like, how do you think that's a testament to you staying so community oriented?
I love where I'm from, because where I'm from is what made me. It's what made me attentive. It's what made me a thinker. It's what made me creative. It's what helped me create. So when I look around my neighborhood and I see like the blemishes and the things that could be fixed, I'm immediately saying to myself, like, how can I come back and fix these things? Now, I don't have even $1 million. I don't even have $100,000. But me, I aspire to be a billionaire. And I aspire to be a billionaire not to have money, but to make the real changes that need to be made. Because as simple as we have a team crate in my neighborhood. We're right now fighting to get a gym for those kids that are playing. For me, I'd go spend $100 million and put a recreational center out there that it costs the kids nothing to be able to say, all right, well, they got somewhere to play basketball. They got somewhere to do their homework. Yeah. I remember going to PAL when I was a kid. They don't have the PALs in Far Rockaway the size they had them when I was growing up. So for me, I say, all right, I need a PAL out here, and I need it to cost nothing. I need it to be absolutely free. These are the things that I want. I know these things are not possible because certain people are not going to just take their money. I'm comfortable getting rich and saying, this is what I'm doing with my money. And where we coming from is hard to come from there. So it's like, when people do take their little bit of money and come spend it with me, it's like, how can I not give back to this community? It's home. It's home, literally.
That's great. So thank you so much for joining us. That was amazing. I really loved we didn't even look at the questions, which was the goal. Right. I just wanted to make sure that we had an idea of what we would be talking about. But thank you so much for joining us. Where can people follow The Crate, learn more about The Crate, contact you for any collabs, working together, whatever the case may be, and most importantly, buy product?
TheCrateNY.com. You can get the about on there. So if you want to contact us or something like that, and then you got The Crate NYC at Gmail is my email. You got us on Twitter, The Crate NYC. You got us on Facebook as The Crate NY. And I'm, they call me Terrell, but they also call me Ben Black. And Ben Blacken is like a play on like I've been getting fly. Like I've been so like when they say you getting fly, they be like, yo, you blacking right now. Yeah. Like boy, like you're blacking. And every time I used to come around, it should be like, yo, he is blacking right now. And one of my homies like, yo, he been blacking.
Yeah, it's already there.
He been doing that. Like, and it was just like, oh, that's my name, Ben Blacken. So when you see me, they call me Terrell, but they call me Ben Blacken. And yeah, follow us on The Crate Instagram. Follow Sophia Dennis. Feel me? Like if you don't know who she is, she's lit too. Don't just fuck with me, fuck with her too.
Terrell is good people.
As a Brooklyn native, that was so entertaining to watch. Because I'm like, so dang, we really talk like that. We really talk like he was a serious businessman. But I'm like, yo. He said, oh, I've been blacking. He been blacking. I'm like, what?
My favorite was he said, I'm comfortable getting rich. I was like, Terrell, I'm comfortable when you
Brooklyn
rich
people
too.
Be having phrases and bars. Like, that's like, no one says that. Yeah. No one's going to know what you're talking about. But like, I know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, that was so good.
Oh, no, yeah.
The clothes is amazing too. Like, beautiful.
The clothing is
thought-provoking.
Shout out to them, because they really, Terrell and The Crate.
Shout out Terrell from Far Rock.
From Far Rockaway.
Yep.
Yes.
Word.
Hey, we only have 8 more minutes of the show. Can you believe that? Time is flying by.
Because we spent like 2 hours talking about Euphoria.
I know, right? These damn high schoolers got all of us out here like in a chokehold.
LOL. Yeah. What's funny is like they're not even high schoolers. Like
They're not in real
they're
life.
like Maddie, and this is so controversial because everyone's talking about it. Maddie is 30 years old.
Yeah, that's what everyone's trying to find out. Everyone, I think
30.
she is. Okay,
Yeah,
so she's
and
30.
she's lived a very long creative life before she actually got this role, which
Oh,
is what
what was she
catapulted
doing?
her to success. But she had a clothing line, like I think she did like glasses, like she had these funky like glasses that J-Lo was wearing, and like other people I forgot. But yeah, then she did like another company and it failed, so she was like, "Fuck it, I don't want to do this anymore." But she's lived several lives, and she finally like brought
like broke through with
success. You know what I
Euphoria.
mean? Yeah, with the show.
Wow.
So it's so interesting to think, like,
So interesting.
you know, like 30. People are like, "Oh my gosh, she's so old." Like, what?
No, she's not.
She's what?
And she didn't just like wake up and appear on Euphoria. Like she's
Right,
been
that
doing
doesn't
other stuff.
happen.
I think I saw that she's a singer as well.
Yeah, she's a singer. Yeah. Yeah. That's super cool. Yeah. What do you want to do when you're 30?
Wow. When I'm 30, what do I want to do?
Yeah, like where do you see
Damn.
yourself when you're 30?
Oh my gosh. So I've been talking about this a lot recently. I really want to have a farm, but not just like a normal farm.
Khalees.
But like a farm that has, I know, right? A farm that would also double as a resort and retreat. So I have like a resort, retreat, an olive farm, because I want to produce olive oil, and you could do it in certain parts of the country, like in Texas and in California. But then also create like a line of products that's connected to the olive oil. So sell like olive oil that you can eat, sell products that you can eat that are like grown on the farm, like agave syrup, olive oil, and then beauty products that have olive oil inside of them. So that's like not necessarily like what I want to be like my life's work, so to speak, but that's something that I would really like to do or to be working on as I'm approaching 30 is my farm.
Okay. Word.
Yep. What about you?
Don't ask me that question. No, I'm joking. I would like to be. I kind of have a similar goal to what you want to do, but mine is more in the creative space. Like I would like to have not a farm, but like a building that was just a studio of like creation, like something like this, where we're like you can put on shows, you know what I mean? Or like if you wanted to start a clothing line, we have a floor where it's only like equipment, like DTG machines, or like blanks, or like a writing room, just like a whole like a school kind of, but not a school, just a place where you can go and be creative, and it doesn't cost you $10,000 like intuition. It doesn't cost you a membership like WeWork. It's just somewhere like literally like how dude was saying, oh, we don't have this recreational place for people to play basketball. Not everyone plays basketball. Like some people draw, some people sing, some people do like, you know, like games, some people like, there's so many other things that are artistic that the Black and brown community can do that are not just those things. And I want to have like a space where I can not only work on it because I like to do that shit, but have other people like come in. And I'm thinking about like, and people have asked me this too, I think I might just start like a mentorship program, because yeah, like no one taught me what I know now. Like I definitely was a part of mentorship programs. I was a part of Black Girls Rock since I was like 16. So that was really helpful for me in understanding the environment. But other than that, I had to wing it. And there was a lot of shit that I like wish I would have known before, especially when it comes to music journalism and journalism world for Black young women. So yeah, that's what I want to do.
Okay. That's good. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll have a farm and you'll have a creative studio.
Yeah.
A creative building. Institution? Is that the...
When I need to take my vacations, I'll go to your the vineyard.
Yes. You can come
the olive oil lounge.
To the vineyard. The olive oil vineyard.
You look like you would have an olive oil farm though. Like you're giving like Oprah Winfrey. Like it's like
I want an olive
you
oil
do look
farm.
like that.
I do. I'm like as much as I like the city and I'm like a city, not a city girl, but a city girl, like by the pre-2010 definition.
Right.
I just like the it's not the simple life, but I like to like grow food.
Yeah.
And I like to like be outside, and I like
you need it.
I like to make stuff with the stuff that I grow. So I don't know. I just have recently really been stuck on this like olive oil farm, and being able to then build different experiences that you can have on this farm and things of that nature, like farm to table type vibes as well. Yeah, and you could own a whole lot of land. Like I'd probably have to buy like 200 acres. There's a lot of acres, but you know, one of the like, it's not like Shein, right?
Yeah,
they can't just
there we
produce
go.
more land. Shein can produce
Absolutely.
more shirts and things,
Yeah.
but they're not making more land.
Smart.
That was a quote from Ari Fletcher. She said, "Nobody making more land."
Yeah,
Anyway.
we got what we got. That's it.
That's all we got. What we got, and that's all
Until
we
they
got. That's why
colonize
Bali's
Mars.
moving their capital.
There we go. Yeah, this was a fun episode. Yeah, we definitely have to have a whole segment about Euphoria for the rest of the season.
Oh my
now.
gosh, yeah! Like
we have to.
there's gonna be like a stipend of 10 minutes every single
20 minutes even.
every single episode.
Yeah.
Bare minimum 10 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes, where we just talk about
give or take
Euphoria.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We just talk about Euphoria.
But let's give a round of applause for our heavyweight of a DJ.
Oh my gosh, yes!
Like the grooves, the sounds. I was like shazamming the whole time.
Killing it every single time.
Busted.
Connie.
Welcome back. We love you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, and everyone make sure you follow her at Boston Sherry on Instagram. And once again, big shout out to our comedian, Jamel Sirleaf at Sirleaf on Instagram, Terrell Kirk at Bin Blacken on Instagram, and The Crate at The Crate NY.
Period.
Check them out.
Yes.
They've got the dopest products. I think they're about to do a drop on February 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. Just sometime next week. So check them out for that.
And as always, this is Channel Interference.
Shout out to
Gia.
Bands and Afropunk.
And this is Fia, and we're out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Everyone listen to what I have to say. Gonna tell you something to brighten up your day. If you're feeling down, here is what you do. Keep love in your heart, and love will see you through. Yes, it's been healed. What I've been healed. Yes, it's been healed. What I've been healed. Magic. It's magic.
Check 1, check 2, Magic Hour. Coming to you live, House of Fans, Boogie Monsters Radio Takeover. Magic Hour. House of Fans.